Matrix background, Evo. That's brilliant.
What background?
I kind of like her Game of Thrones background from before.
That was good too. And what's that creepy thing in your picture there, Fernando?
Which one?
Oh, that's just you. Sorry.
It's me.
It's a long running joke.
So for the listeners, we are on Zoom. That's what we're talking about. We are on Zoom and everybody's messing with their backgrounds. Luis has a tropical coastline in his background. Myself and Alena have the Matrix. Fernando has a bunch of his own Fernando's, tons of Fernando's in the back. Like
Fernando freaking me out a little.
Yeah. Yeah, and Kay has some idyllic, bizarre. Oh wait, that's her actual sunroom.
It's a very cool room.
It's my sunroom.
It actually does look like a background. Yeah,
it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Oh, I got it redone during COVID and got it repainted, and I brought anything that had anything ocean themed, and I brought it down to this room. So I've got shells, and I've got the little blanket and the thing, anything that has anything to do with the ocean, because I'm stuck in Kansas. So
so is that a real tree inside the sunroom?
Yeah, so it's something I wanted. The first time I went down to New Orleans, I was 16 years old, and there's this wonderful store down there. And I saw it when I was 16, and I'm definitely not 16 anymore. And when I moved into this house 4 years ago, I was like, you know what? I'm a grown up, and I'm going to buy this damn tree. And it was not nearly as expensive as I thought it was going to be. And it's a faux tree, but it's got some, it's LED, and it's got some beautiful little leaves and stuff on it. And it makes me happy every morning and every evening. It's just beautiful. And I've had neighbors who walk by and are like, that tree is the coolest thing on the planet. And so. Yeah,
you got everything you need in that one room. You got a cat.
Except for a bathroom. Yeah.
You got a Stairmaster. There is a bathroom because there's an empty bottle there.
Yeah. So I got everything. I got some of my mom's artwork. I've got lots of windows. I got some cats and a dog door, so my dogs can come in and out. And I live in this room, and it's kind of pathetic how many hours I spend in this room, but it's pretty. So
you know what would be amazing in this room with all these windows would be to sit on that bench and read while it's raining outside.
Oh, it's lovely when it's raining, and I've got the tree. If I've got the tree on, then it doesn't seem dark, and it doesn't seem. But you get the sound, and there's a deck right above me, so that's gonna that enhances the sound, and it's pretty lovely. And also, my very handicapped cat, she walks very funny, so when she's upstairs on that deck, it sounds like I have a ghost because she goes bump 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 bump. She's a weird cat, and it sounds like I have a ghost, and so it's kind of a fun room. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you had me right up until that ghost comment. Then I'm out.
My cat, when she walks upstairs, she sounds like she's a ghost, and I've had numerous people in my house think that I have a ghost, and I'm like, no, it's just a cat. And like, cats don't make sounds like that. I'm like, mine does.
Yeah, maybe it's the same cat. I think I saw this cat once. It was in a movie where the cat died and a little boy buried the cat in an Indian cemetery.
No.
Is that the same cat?
No, my cat is very much alive. She just
came back and was making that weird sound.
She has a muscular issue. Like most of my pets, for some reason, are gimpy. I have a lot of handicapped pets. And she has a thing called cerebellar hypoplasia, or you can Google wobbly cats or wobbly cats.
Oh, no.
So when she walks, she's 1,000%, and she's like, bum, bum, bum. So when she's upstairs, it sounds like I have a ghost.
Wobbly Cat is a great name for a heavy metal band.
You're probably right.
The Wobbly Cat now on stage. Give it up for the Wobbly Cat.
That would also be the best internet attraction ever. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
All
what are we
right.
talking today? What are we talking about today?
So, first question today. It has to do with the upcoming holiday, Father's Day.
Oh
Father's Day seems to get short shrift when compared to Mother's Day. Why is that?
You don't have a uterus.
yeah.
That's
You know,
true.
I think
I
that's probably why it was started because giving birth, I'm assuming, and thank God I don't know, um,
you
is
know
it's a big deal.
yeah, I agree. I agree here with Kay, and I gotta say, the reason probably is, and just to kind of expand on what she said, was that for about 20,000 years, every single day was Father's Day.
I concur. I think that is a valid observation, Mr. Ivanov.
Yeah,
But they're doing a very good job on the marketing to like get stuff for guys and Home Depot and Ace Hardware and get things for the men. So we do have to applaud all the boys who have
yeah,
done the things. So
I think also, sorry.
it's a good reality. So.
Mm-hmm.
I think also maybe if like, because I feel like mothers get excited for Mother's Day. I don't know if many, like probably there are fathers that get excited for Father's Day,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if it's as many as like the mothers that get excited. I don't know. So it becomes a bigger deal when you like know somebody really wants appreciation on that day. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess if it's not clear,
yeah,
like if it's not clear that somebody really wants a gift or really wants a beyond just like marketing to people, I don't know.
yeah.
I could be wrong.
Well, guys, typically most guys don't like holidays that much
Mm-hmm.
compared, especially compared to women. They don't like, unless it's a holiday where they can blow shit up, like
Or St. Patrick's Day, Carnival.
4th of July and New Year's. But
4th of July.
so, now Father's Day, Kay is right that they're doing a good job marketing and pumping in more and more products in the stores with the word tactical preceding the item. Like anything that has tactical in it,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes instantly like a wonderful present for a guy. So it doesn't matter. It could be tactical handkerchief. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter
Tactical.
if it says tactical, we are going to eat that up.
Mm-hmm.
I have tactical flashlights, tactical Swiss Army knives, tactical shoes, tactical cargo pants. I have
Cargo pants.
everything at this point. And you go into like Walgreens even, and you look around and everything is tactical, this, tactical, that, tactical, tactical can of Coca-Cola, tactical, everything is tactical for Father's Day.
Don't tell me you already have a tactical spatula, because I got to take your Christmas gift back.
Let me put on my tactical headphones.
I want one.
It's got a little flashlight on it. It's got a little pocket in it that you can hide your waterproof matches and the whole shebang.
Yes, I have tactical Starbucks right now. I'm drinking tactical Starbucks.
Is that titanium? Titanium?
Yes, impenetrable, bulletproof. In case somebody tries to shoot my Starbucks cup out of my hand, it's going to reflect the bullet. So I've got a tactical Starbucks.
Uh-huh. So, like all of you guys, with the exception of Alena, are like born in other countries. Is Mother's Day and Father's Day a thing in native countries?
Yes, but like I don't know, and Evil and Kay confirm with me. Like US, there's some weird things. Like Labor Day on the rest of the planet, it's usually May 1st. Right, Evil? Agree?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Big.
Mother's Day, it's a match. Is that the same over there?
It's
What do you mean?
March 8th. On March
Oh,
8th is when
Mother's Day is not a match?
No, it's
Okay.
Mother's Day, we have a Women's Day, International Day of the Woman, and
Okay.
it's a big thing, and it's March 8th, and you can't freaking find flowers on that day in the entire country. It's impossible to find flowers. Yeah.
That's all women, though, right?
Yeah, that's
Not
all
just-
women.
Yeah.
Good.
Others.
But Mother's Day is a match at least to US and Brazil, and I don't know about Peru. It's like the second Sunday of May. But the Father's Day in Brazil, it's the second Sunday of August.
Interesting. We don't
So-
have Mother's Day in Bulgaria or Europe.
I don't know the origin. I thought there would be a match like usually the Brazil there was a lot of European like I thought Bulgaria would be there and perhaps Peru too. But
I'm not very helpful on this because I was it was a long time ago that I lived in Peru during the months of May and June. Now I've been down there, but not on a Mother's or Father's Day. And maybe I was there during Mother's Day, but not when my mom was living there. So I'm in a weird situation. But I don't remember it being a big thing. However, I want to put this point out, having worked at a florist in the United States for Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, we should recognize our parents every day and not on some stupid holiday when flowers cost
Agreed.
50% more than they normally do.
Yeah. Agreed.
I will never, I've told past boyfriends, never give me flowers on Valentine's Day, ever. Because it's stupid. It's a waste of money, and there's putting in so much work anyway that there's just no point. So I'm not helpful with the original question. I apologize for that. But I'm going to set up a Zoom call with my dad, and hopefully, who he is hard of hearing, he will stop doing this. And I don't have to see down like this ear canal.
But
anymore.
don't worry, don't need to call your dad. I just found we have the internet. So Peru, it's celebrated on the third Sunday of June. So that's a match, right?
Well, that's this Sunday.
Yeah,
That's a match.
that is a match.
And we were visited by our old friend Google as well, and he told us that Father's Day in Europe is March 19th. Apparently, is in Catholic countries, it's been celebrated on March 19th as Saint Joseph's Day since the Middle Ages. So it's not quite, it's Saint Joseph's Day, but it's not quite Father's Day. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Weird,
So,
yeah.
Alena, you've probably not been in Bulgaria during like Mother's Day weekend, right? You guys generally go later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go in like May, June. Yeah.
So you're there for like Father's Day. Are you like making little macaroni necklaces for Tatislavi?
Oh no, I never even thought of doing anything for him. He might be confused if I gave him. I don't know, because I don't know if we talk about Father's Day with him. I would sometimes like Skype Dad on that day, but if he was home before me.
Gotcha. Cool. No, just kind of curious. It was. I was talking to a friend, and he was kind of joking about how. Well, his question to me was, "Are you going to go cook a dinner? Are you going to go grill a dinner for yourself on Father's Day?" And I'm like, "Of course. Like Sunday is the day for grilling. Like we know that." And he was. Oh, Jamie's probably been sitting there trying to get into this meeting for a while. Let's see.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Jeremy?
Let's see. She should be appearing maybe now. There you go.
Hey.
Hey, Jamie. Hello.
Oh, there she is.
Jamie looks like an early 90s music video, doesn't she?
Really does.
She has a mystical Icelandic ice mountain behind her with fast-moving clouds melting into the aurora borealis.
Did you say it was melting in your ass?
That's later, Jamie.
Sorry.
We were just talking about the the Father's Day, Mother's Day difference, and Evo immediately answered with, I'm sorry, Kay immediately answered with the obvious answer, which is guys don't have a uterus, and Evo followed it up with it's kind of Father's Day every day of the year. So, um,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
traditionally, at least. So, I was just saying to them that like that was kind of where I was hoping that question would go. I had a buddy that was asking like in a joking way, "What are you going to be doing for yourself on Father's Day?" And it's like Father's Day is just it's really like not as big a deal as Mother's Day, but there's a reason for that, and it's because guys have essentially been assholes for many generations, and so it's kind of important to show moms that we appreciate. So that was actually exactly where I wanted to go with that. So we're gonna move right into the next question, which is, if you had to be famous or infamous, what would you be famous for?
Ooh, I know what Alena would be famous for.
I don't.
Well, a couple of things. She is like a fantastic stand-up comedian and a writer, so I think she will write probably some amazing things, and that would be her fame. And
I
it's
have
going
to
to happen.
say, I still show everybody that I have known for more than 15 minutes the daycare basement video Alena made with my kids when she was like 16 years old. It's one of my favorite things of all time. Do you remember this at all, Alena?
I wanted to hear what he was gonna say.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Oh,
daycare basement video you made with
Oh yeah.
Izzy and Julian. I show that to literally, if you're at my house for more than 30 minutes, you're gonna see that.
Oh
So,
no way. Do
oh
people
yeah,
like it?
oh they absolutely love it.
Good.
So yeah, I agree with Evo. You would be famous for at least one of your creative endeavors, whether it's stand-up comedy or screenwriting or acting or whatever.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Mhm. How about you, Mr. Ivanov? We're going to pretend that you're not already famous and that you have to pick something else other than your artistic talents to be famous for.
um, well, do you guys remember City Slickers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so in City Slickers, Curly, remember what Curly said? That was probably the number one quote when he looked at Billy Crystal and said that you have, it's life. What is life about? And Billy Crystal said, what is life about? And he said, it's that one thing, one thing. No, he said this.
Mm-hmm.
He said this. And Billy Crystal said, what, your finger? and then he said, no, it's one thing. It's that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy Crystal asked, what is the one thing? He goes, well, that's for you to find out. You have to figure that out. And we spoke about this maybe a couple of years ago on the podcast, but I watched the movie Jiro Dreams of Sushi. It's a documentary. And the entire movie was about that one thing, about figuring out that one thing. So I know what my one thing is. I do a million things. I've done so many things in my life, most of them below average quality. I played basketball. As I'm only 6 feet tall, I obviously didn't have, I wasn't no Spud Webb, so I was not going to make it big. But I played basketball at the best of my abilities, but I knew that I'm never going to be a great basketball player at 6 feet tall. Same thing was with soccer and many other pursuits that I had. But I always knew that at writing, when I sit down and put words into sentences into stories, they magically find their place perfectly. And I've always known that that's my thing. That's my personal one thing, and I have to stick to that. And I stuck to it, and that's become my legacy. So we are defined in life by our battles and our gifts, our talents. They become our legacies. And for me, it's what I write that becomes my legacy. So that's it. And I can't think of anything else. Everything else, the coaching, the playing, games, all that stuff, the videos, it's all good. But I know that the one thing I'm really good at is writing.
And don't forget your inventions, like the diet
Oh,
vodka.
oh yeah. Yeah, the bubble shower.
Yeah.
Bubble shower is very important. Let's not forget about the bubble shower.
Uh-huh.
All of them are just priceless. All of my inventions. What else did I? I had the claw machine in the bars that actually catches little airline bottles of alcohol instead of stuffed animals. That never took off.
Oh, that's awesome. Holy shit. Those left would go insane over that. That's
I knew you're gonna say that. Yeah, I've had a lot of those that never materialized. But yeah, the claw machine should have been a thing. And the bubble shower, I don't know why the bubble shower has not been proliferating all over the world by now.
The technology is just not there yet, my friend.
Not there yet. I'm ahead of the curve. Yeah.
Exactly. Kay, were you able to give this question any thought? Do you know what you would be famous for?
But it's very simplistic and very stupid. I just hope that, like, if I die tomorrow, hopefully, even though I'm an organ donor, don't look at my liver, that people just remember me and hope that I was a good person, that I am a good person, that I do good things, and I really do believe that I do. I think the biggest thing is just not to be forgotten, and that you make enough impact to just not be forgotten. So simplistic. I'm not, I'll be cremated, and I don't want a headstone or anything like that. But I just hope people that like, hey, that was a cool chick. That's the world is long, and it's a lot longer than we ever thought it was, and longer. We've been around for a lot longer than some people think we have been. So just want to be remembered.
Gotcha. How about you, Jamie? Do you have notions of what you would want to be famous or infamous for?
Well, you mean other than what I already am?
Yes.
And just like off the top of my head, that Dello stint I, owned for a while. That went over well.
Lost you.
Lots of repeat customers, yep.
A lot of repeat customers with that. Our satisfaction ratings were through the roof, and I think we made it to some sort of famous business magazine, and employee satisfaction, as well as, when you offer dental, you get a lot of, you can maintain your staff. I don't know. I'm gonna say ditto to Kay. Actually, I think being a good person is really what I'd like to be remembered as.
So yeah, like I personally don't know that I want to be famous, but I know that if I was gonna be famous, I would want it to be for probably something like specific. Like the very first thing that I thought of when I constructed this question was like, being the guy that interviewed Donald Trump 10 years from now. Hold on, that's the setup. Being the guy that interviews him and asks him the question that makes him say, "Oh my God, I have been such an asshole." Like,
he will never say that.
I know, but think about the journalist that actually like would be able to say something to him that causes him to have like that monumental, like self-reflective moment. Like that would be an impressive something. That was. Go ahead, Evo.
it would take an enlightenment, which is a word that doesn't exist when it comes to his universe.
Right, right. No, I agree. I know exactly what you're saying. But like that would be like one of those things that like a moment of history that I would like to be a part of, if that makes any sense.
It
Uh,
does make sense, but you're making it up in a fictional world.
Absolutely, absolutely. But that's the beauty of like what what we could do. Like, is there a world where Donald Trump can be self-aware? Um, I mean, not in a narcissistic way. How about you, Mr. Fernando? Do you know what you would want to be infamous for? I mean, besides being the, you know, ladies' man. I can't call you a ladies' man anymore. You're married now. Damn it.
Well, I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like about basically not be forgotten. Like, I mean, I don't have like a huge aspiration. And I had an idea that Andre, I thought I created, and he told that already exists. It's like a claw machine, web-based, that you can sell credits, and people do the claw machine online. But Andre told that already exists, so I gave up. So I just want to be, as long as, you know, have friends and be in a memory. But yeah, no large aspirations anymore. I don't want to be an astronaut anymore.
Gotcha.
Did you at one time?
Oh yeah.
Is that just a guy thing that you just want to be an astronaut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every guy wants to be an astronaut at some point, and a fireman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alinka, you wanted to say something?
Oh, I wanted to ask Lewis what he thinks that question would be.
I don't know that even such a question exists, but I would be I would think that it would have to somehow relate Trump's conception of his family to the average person, and I don't think that he his circle of cognizance like extends beyond himself very much. I don't know that it extends, outside enough for him to see his family. So it would be a crapshoot to even guess that would be it. But I would think that there's got to be, if he's got any humanity at all, there is some lever, some switch that could be thrown to say, you know what, people outside of you and your immediate circle matter. I have no real notion of what that question would be.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, ultimately, what is life about? We are finite. We, a lot of us don't have faith on our side, and we are either agnostic or, our faith is questionable. So we look at the future and we see nothingness eventually. And what are you trying to do with your life? You're trying to extend your life, not in the physical realm, but to leave a legacy that would prolong your existence through your work, right? We're trying to do something that would basically be an extension of ourselves beyond our physical life. And so whether it's writing with me or porn with Lewis, or,
special, like artistic porn. But yes, I agree.
Furniture porn.
Yes, furniture porn. I'm never going to make it to the Supreme Court.
No. No, you had a chance, but but now this podcast dropped.
Yes.
So it's over. It's over now.
So that for some, my next question is a really, really, really serious question. Sam's Club or Costco?
That's a good question. Jamie?
Sam's Club
Sam's
or
Club.
Costco?
Sam's Club.
Really? That is shocking to me. I am so not a Sam's Club guy. Like my wife actually likes Sam's Club a lot, But
And on that note, I'm getting a new one. So
oh, you are fine. You go right ahead.
about that.
Yeah. We have memberships to both, and we live near both, and so we get to kind of have our pick of the litter. And we've essentially split up our grocery list into two different lists at this point. And we still buy the bulk of stuff probably at Costco, but there are certain things that either just aren't at Costco or are easier to buy because they are actually in smaller packs at Sam's Club. I guess I don't think about that. We're buying, our house has seven people in it right now. And so for us, Costco is a boon because everything is in these large bulk sizes, and we only have to buy like, one jar of mayonnaise to last us a month, as opposed to buying six at Sam's Club. Is that part of the interest in Sam's Club for you guys?
So we had memberships for both, right, Jamie?
Yeah, through the years.
Sometime or another, we had a membership for Sam's Club and Costco.
Mm-hmm.
I have no preference. Sam's Club, is it named after Sam Walton?
Yeah.
So it's a Walmart, basically, even cheaper Walmart.
Uh-huh.
In both.
Yeah, it's part of the group.
Yeah. And then Costco, I was kind of trending towards Costco because of the movie Idiocracy.
Uh-huh.
If I'm not mistaken, everything was happening in Costco, including getting your driver's license, going to court.
Uh-huh.
Everything. Costco had taken over the world, and any kind of bureaucracy, immigration services, everything was provided by Costco, which was kind of funny and ominous and prophetic, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't really discern between the two. I don't know.
You're muted, Jamie.
Jamie? We can't hear you. You're muted.
It was on purpose. I was having a sidebar.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
No worries.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. So yeah, no, I am curious because these giant warehouse stores, like you point out, like the whole Idiocracy joke was like you're essentially having all of your life's functions within this giant warehouse store. And it seems like the people that shop at them, and I get that not everybody does shop at them, but it seems like if you do, you definitely have a preference.
Well, yeah, and I think Idiocracy was a brilliant movie. When it came out, we were kind of dismissive of it, remember, because it looked so stupid. But then you watch it now, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a brilliant concept right here. Then there's another brilliant concept there. Remember all the trash, the mountains of trash that could not be disposed. Everything was becoming basically a pile of garbage, and you couldn't get rid of the trash. That was prophetic. Then the Costco thing the concept was brilliant because they were hinting at wholesale everything, wholesale justice, because the courts were at Costco, wholesale everything, wholesale bureaucracy, wholesale democracy. Everything was wholesale and everything was for sale.
So I guess it's just sort of like a more reflection of like, I think that was happening at that time as well as what's happening now, which is that like most things in the US are like business oriented or structured like businesses, even things that are framed as like, I don't know, social programs, like hospitals, like they operate like businesses.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah.
And so does immigration services, and so does like everything does. So I feel like it was like, I don't know if they were trying to be prophetic or if they were just like
realistic,
making a statement, like, I don't know, or if it's even that deep. I'm just thinking Costco is a business and they're showing you that all these things are also operating as businesses.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's a case of wrong. Like it is. I think that point is equally as valid as like the point that I got when I was watching it, which was like these stores are just going to take over They're already like um, hideously huge and unnecessarily huge, and like the only thing that is really left is for them to start absorbing other functions besides stores. But I think that it is eminently reasonable to think that, you know, it might have as well been a comment on the commerciality of like everything that they were absorbing. So I
Yeah.
I don't question that it's right or wrong. I think it's interesting and prophetic, kind of like what your pop said.
So your question was kind of brilliant, because I feel like you were expecting us to go in this direction and make it a more of a social commentary on where we're going as a society. I like this. Um, the movie itself also is maybe now more relevant and is enjoying a second wave in a way because of the president in the movie, who's a WWE idiot wrestler, and
Not
he
an
was
idiot. He was a
yeah,
genius wrestler.
yeah. And you look at, but see, everybody was like, "Oh, that will never happen." The president, has to have certain decorum, and and now you look at this WWE wrestler that was running the country in the movie Idiocracy. He looks like James Joyce compared to what we have now.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Kay, have you
So
seen
easy
this movie
to-
we're talking about, Idiocracy?
No, I haven't, and but I write this stuff down. Like after every one of our podcasts, I'm like, okay, I should have known about this. I should have known about that. But I've been particularly in the past 3 months,
Uh-huh.
like completely, unless somebody tags me on Facebook, unless somebody tells me about something, I'm just not doing it, and I'm just kind of watching Hallmark Channel and my normal NCIS stuff that I've watched before because it's just what keeps me level.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I got it written down. I brought out my little pad, so I have to watch Jiro Dreams of Sushi.
Sushi. Uh-huh.
Okay, and then Idiocracy.
Idiocracy.
Um, um, but I'm having a hard time with. Some friends of mine who get too activist motivated,
Mm-hmm.
and like we were kind of talking about last week, that we all have our own stuff that we've gone through. We've all have our own issues, and we're all of different races. We're all of different upbringings, and that whole certain things just kind of like I just right now don't need to see negative things, and activist things get me a little on edge because, as I said last week, the mob mentality thing kind of freaks me out. But you don't know what I've been through, and I don't know what you've been through, and until we actually are talking and really uniting as individuals together, then that's when we get to know what's gone on in your world and why you're mad about this or happy about this, and oh my god, I've got a big cat on my shoulder. So it's a weird world is all I guess I can say. But I want to see a lot of it. I had a friend who lives down the street wanted me to see the movie 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
About that. I haven't seen it, but a friend of mine from LA was like, "If you haven't seen this, you're not a human," and la la la. And I'm like, I haven't seen it, and I'm very much a human, so I don't know.
No. That is not the case with Idiocracy. It is purely like absurdist humor. So it will be
Yeah.
something that's good to sit back and enjoy.
Well, I don't
That
know.
would be
It
lovely.
feels more like a reality show. No.
I know, right? It was, but think about it. It was so. Is that one of your adoring fans?
Yeah, no, it's a parent. It's a soccer
What
parent,
Ah,
Mary Spurlock. Yeah,
uh-huh.
it's okay. I'll call.
Idiocracy? What thing is it on? Hulu, Netflix?
I'm not sure off the top of my head, but it's
Yeah,
usually kind of
it's
everywhere.
yeah. You find that there is probably many options to. It's a fairly. It's quite a few years.
Yeah. All right, team. Last question. Status symbols. What is a status symbol that like immediately just kind of makes you, excuse me, angry that it's a status symbol?
I wanted to what we were talking about before we were recording.
Uh-huh.
Have you defined status symbol? Is that a logo? Is
I
that
want an object. I want a thing, and it can be a brand of a thing, like
Lacoste polo,
yeah,
diamonds,
Lacoste polos. There you go.
diamonds.
Uh-huh. You don't like diamonds as a status symbol?
No.
I
uh, I'm not a big fan anymore of Adam Carolla
uh-huh.
because I came to realize his bigotry and he's very small about certain things, but he has moments of enlightenment. One of the things that I like about his show, he comes up with interesting ideas every once in a while. One of his very cool ideas is Rich Man, Poor Man,
Mm-hmm.
which is a very interesting concept, which basically he identifies things that can indicate that if you have them, you can be either very poor or very rich.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so, for example, many cars in your driveway, many cars in front of your home. You can be very rich or very poor.
Mm-hmm. Television on the porch.
Yeah, television on the porch, very rich
Mm-hmm.
or very poor.
Mm-hmm.
Your lawyer's phone number by you can be either very rich or very poor. And when you asked the status thing,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I immediately thought of one thing that riles me up when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of a status thing, or you might look at it as a other kind of statement.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also, I think, it's a status thing that can also indicate qualifies for rich, very rich, or very poor, and it's the MAGA hat.
Mm-hmm.
what?
The MAGA hat drives me crazy. I don't like it. I look at it in a way, I feel like maybe 100 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
people will look back at it almost as the swastika,
What?
a symbol of hate and
I'm sorry.
intolerance.
Accent. The what head? I'm sorry.
MAGA hat.
Make America great again.
They call that MAGA because the abbreviation of Make America Great Again is MAGA.
I'm sorry. I've been so enjoying my isolation and not watching things that I had no idea that was the thing. And so
Yeah.
No blame. I wish I don't know about that acronym too.
Mm-hmm.
No
Yeah.
blame.
The red hat has become ubiquitous, unfortunately, and at the rallies you basically have to have one.
Mm-hmm.
And I
you
don't.
people are making me learn things that I don't want to learn, and it just kind of like being in my little bubble. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know, Alena. Like, we don't see many of those here.
It was weird. I saw more people wearing that in Chicago than here, which
Really?
was weird.
Really?
Like in Chicago, it was weird. But they would get together at like a restaurant downtown, and almost like it felt like it was purposeful.
It was like
So
a
like, I don't know.
gathering.
Maybe I'm probably being paranoid, but it was always really weird there. It's like
Chicago's a liberal town.
Yeah, it's also like incredibly diverse.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And like I love Chicago because it is one of the more welcoming like larger cities in America. Like it's the attitude there is I like the only other place I felt that in the States is literally in Lawrence, Kansas. So Chicago is one for that reason one of my favorite towns of all time. So it's very very disappointing to know that there are MAGA hat conventions, but on the other hand, it kind of makes sense.
Well, anytime I was there with like somebody who grew up in Chicago and we were like getting food or something, they'd always be like, those like MAGA people probably don't live in Chicago.
Right.
Like they probably came in from the suburbs or came in from a small town in Illinois. Like that was the assumption that people who lived there were making.
Right.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, when I see an older guy driving a Porsche, I know what that's about in terms of status.
Yeah.
You know, the midlife crisis and all that stuff. You know, you know what's an interesting status also is the super expensive basketball shoes.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That's an
Yeah.
interesting statement that is kind of worth of writing dissertations, sociology dissertations about. This drive to wear the $200, $300 expensive basketball shoes. I don't, you know, and I'm not huge about this. Yeah.
I know the status symbol I
Yeah.
don't like, but it's almost sorry.
Yeah.
to-
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
no.
It's almost gone,
Uh-huh.
but it's Supreme.
It's almost gone.
Supreme.
It's almost not cool anymore, but
Mhm.
it's Supreme, and their whole thing is like, what's that word? Veblen goods. They're goods that are like more expensive because you make less of them.
Just
And
the label.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be expensive at all. Like diamonds are a very similar thing because there's like huge.
Because there's cars.
Huge. No, but there's also like huge, like vaults of diamonds that are stored.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like diamonds are not the most expensive, but not the most rare gemstone in the world, but they're most expensive because they only put out a few at a time.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Supreme, but Supreme is worse because they took they took their logo for all their branding from an anti-capitalist artist, directly from an anti-capitalist artist.
Ouch.
Oh.
I don't know if that was purposeful. I mean, it was purposeful stealing it. I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, no, that's an interesting point. I also like Fernando's because I started thinking about what Fernando said, Lacosta. Shirts, they kind of scream, look at me, I play golf, I'm rich. You know, because isn't that what Lacoste is known for? Is that the crocodile is...
I thought it was, look at me, I'm a douchebag.
That's,
Well, yeah.
mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
ultimately that's what it's about. But, you know, a lot of those things change. Lacoste remained a status
Remains, yeah.
after it's showed up in the 70s. And to this day continues to be a huge status symbol. You know, those things change. Do you remember the insane Australian sweaters that the guy was wearing that's in jail now? Bob, the comedian. Gosh, I'm having dementia moment.
Yes, you are, and
A comedian that
Australian?
wore... Oh, Bill Cosby, you mean?
Bill Cosby, yeah.
Yeah, Bill Cosby sweaters. Yeah.
Remember his $300 sweaters?
Uh-huh.
the 80s, all sweaters from the 1980s. Yeah, those
Yeah, they were Australian and they were incredibly expensive. They were $300 sweaters. Those lasted maybe 10 years at the most. And now people look at them and they think they're ridiculous. But that was a status symbol, that sweater.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of celebrities were wearing them.
Never heard about.
Yeah, I'm thinking for me, it's probably like you kind of hit on it, Evo, when you mentioned the Porsche. For me, it's always been the Corvette. Like I have never ever understood the fascination with Corvettes, and it always seemed like an old guy car that wanted to look cool. And I love cars and I love fast cars, but Corvettes have just never been like the thing for me. On the other hand, I am enthralled with new phones. Like every time there's a new phone, I want it. And so for me, that's like the status symbol that I don't really think about as a status symbol, but like I realize that it very much can be. And so I don't think that I like it because it's a status symbol, but there's probably a lot of status surrounding it, you know, as far as the reason why I like it.
I think you like it because you're a gadget head and you love the newest gadgets. You like to tinker with gadgets, like to explore their capabilities. I've never seen you flaunt your new phone that you get and show it to everyone. You kind of mess around with it at the trivia game, and I have to ask you what this is, and then you would explain. But I don't see that as a status symbol with you anyway. Although I know a lot of people that would get online when the new Apple gadget comes out and wait online just to have it.
Mhm.
You know, even though first generation gadgets are usually crap. But yeah, interesting. Jamie doesn't care about stuff. You know, she drove for about 10 years this car that was a white car with a blue door.
I love white car, blue door.
It was a tiny little Japanese car that was a beast, actually.
Mhm.
But you look at it and you're thinking, that guy is he's having financial troubles, you know. But she loved that car and she
Uh-huh.
didn't care what people think. And she's
Mhm.
kind of like that with everything. She doesn't
Would
really
you
care.
concur with his assessment of you, Jamie?
Yeah, I don't really care. Other than Dyson, that kind of pisses me off. That's Ego's thing. I was kind of surprised you didn't mention that.
Ah,
Oh my God, the Dyson. That's right. How can I forget? That's my
I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked that you did not mention Dyson. That's
number one pet
to
peeve
say.
is Dyson. Can't stand that bastard. Can't stand him. Bullshit. Oh, what was it? Oh, cyclonic suction technology. Ew.
Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to get him started.
His ridiculous bladeless fan. Really? $500 bladeless fan. Because we don't like chopped air. Who likes chopped air? I had never before thought of chopped air. Never even crossed my mind that the fan is producing chopped air.
Are you trying to do an accent from another country right now, Evo?
Yeah, first world problem is the definition of chopped air.
Yep.
So that was absolutely unnecessary. Any of his gadgets are completely unnecessary. You know, we've talked about this ad nauseum,
Mhm.
so I'm not going to bring it up. Maybe we'll be sponsored next time again by him, and I'll recycle the old Dyson commercial that we ran a couple of years ago.
You know they have a new Dyson curling iron, by the way. It's a
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have. I'm sure it costs at least $200.
And it probably uses tiny little lasers to straighten your hair. Yes.
$400.
Four. Great day in the morning.
Oh yes, it probably has cyclonic suction technology. Oh,
Yeah.
you British asshole.
Speaking of sponsors, do we have any sponsors for tonight? I just
No.
thought I would ask.
You know, our sponsors have decided as long as we are on Zoom,
Mhm.
they're not going to sponsor us.
That is, you know what? I feel like that is fair.
They said
Smart decision.
once we move back to reality, to real life, eye-to-eye contact, then they'll start sponsoring us again. And until then, we'll be just, you know, perpetually sponsored by Zoom.
Understood. All right. Well, that is all the questions that I have for you guys tonight. Thank you guys very much for showing up and dealing with these idiotic questions. I appreciate you guys allowing us this time to sort of get away from reality for just a little bit and deal with some lighthearted fare. And if you guys are all game, we will shoot for 6:30 next week.
Wait, before we leave, I just found the copy of the Dyson commercial. So I can read it if you want.
I very much would like that.
Today we are sponsored by Dyson. Some inventors have dedicated their lives to changing the very trajectory of human progress. They harness electromagnetic induction like Faraday, or send sound waves across oceans like Bell, or strive to propel mankind to other planets like Elon Musk. Not Sir James Dyson. No! He has dedicated his engineering acumen to solving problems no one ever had. From very early age, he discovered he has only one gift: taking products that already exist and making them 5 to 10 times more expensive. In the 1970s, he invented the bow barrow. Yes, it's a wheelbarrow, but with a bow instead of that trite boring, impossible to patent wheel. His unsavory yet fortuitous fascination with balls continued with the creation of the Dyson ball vacuums, a truly momentous achievement in human history. The giant ball rotates and delivers unprecedented maneuverability. This is truly the Lance Armstrong of vacuums. For mere $600, you can own not just any vacuum, but a bagless, one bowl, dual chamber wonder that uses Dyson cyclonic separation technology. Our vacuum is so powerful, it will suction to oblivion not only tiny crumbs of fruitcake off of your carpet, but even microscopic particles of plutonium-357. I know what you're thinking. What kind of monster has tiny crumbs of fruitcake on their carpet? That is not important. The message here is suction power. This is truly the Kim Kardashian of vacuums. Queen Elizabeth herself is a proud Dyson owner. Here is her enthusiastic endorsement. Ew, Dyson vacuum. What a luminous example of British ingenuity. It sucked both Camilla and Charles right out of the palace and deposited them in a convenient vacuum-sealed pouch, which I now keep in a glass jar on my nightstand right next to Philip's shriveled scrotum. Sir Dyson, you're a true titan of industry. If you think $600 is too much for a vacuum, that means only one thing. You are capable of thinking. Now, suspend that pesky logic and check out our $200 toaster. It might be expensive, but guess what? It's transparent. You can actually watch as the heating element burns a piece of bread that is actually smarter than you. We must mention the Dyson Supersonic Hair Dryer, which costs $500 and features 23.75 karat gold coating applied by an artisan gilder. Why? Who the fuck cares? Your hair is golden dry, isn't it, asshole? But of course, the biggest, the crowning achievement of Dyson Industries is, you guessed it, the bladeless fan. A fan without blades. Dyson claims that this is the first fan that produces a steady stream of unchopped air. Are you kidding me? No more chopped air! I will never forget my first encounter with the barbaric vandalism of chopped air. It was a hot and humid night. The air stale, motionless and heavy. And as my desk fan spun its archaic pagan blades, I shrieked in horror and confusion. Repulsive waves of chopped air assaulted my senses with indiscriminate abrasion. After all, it was Shakespeare himself who once wrote, Horatio, I have recoiled inside the sorrow's darkest lair. I have succumbed to desperation and ravenous despair, brought on to me by the demonic machinations of interrupted air. No more, no more. Sir James Dyson himself has walked across the majestic hills of British invention to free us once and for all from the oppressive shackles of chopped air. Behold the bladeless fan. It is so revolutionary, Dyson had to call it oscillating bladeless air multiplier. If you buy it today, you will receive $100 discount. By the way, if I receive $100 discount on my current desk fan, somebody will have to actually give me $92.50. Yes, the air multiplier costs $400, but you shouldn't care. It's a small price to pay for something you so desperately don't need. After all, nothing screams, look at me, I'm so rich, I'm stupid, like a Dyson product. It doesn't matter if it's just a bunch of over-engineered, overpriced pile of unchopped bullshit. Yes, Sir Dyson, you're a true titan of industry, and we're your biggest bladeless fans. In your honor, Today's podcast is no longer just Wednesday night undressed. It's Wednesday night unchopped. This is truly the John Wayne Bobbitt of podcasts.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Ah, that's brilliant.
Unchopped air.
Ah, very good, very good. Barbaric Pagan Blades. I think that's gonna be my new rock band name.
No, Indiscriminate Abrasion is a great name for a rock band.
Oh, very good. All right. Again, thank you guys all for participating, and hopefully we can do this again next week.
All right.
All right.
See you guys.
Take it easy.